So let's move on to Jeremy Irons. He is an actor who has been doing these interviews where he keeps getting himself into trouble. In the past, he compared homosexuality to bestiality, or that it would lead to it. So people were criticizing him for that. But now he decided to talk about rape, and he is getting heat for it, and he should get heat for it. So apparently he was asked about Jimmy Savile, who was a British TV presenter. He was accused of rape, and he abused as many as 450 female and male victims, some as young as 8 years old, over a 40-year span. And right now there's a lot of talk about accountability for rape in the UK. And for some reason or another, during an interview, Jeremy Irons felt that he needed to share his empathy for these sexual abusers. He said the following: "There is a blanket term for child abuse, and if the worst thing you have done was put your hand on someone's thigh under their skirt, that may be sexual abuse, but it's not like buggering a 9-year-old boy." All right, so that's interesting. And here he said the following: "I remember when my son was 12 and he was like a god. He just went through that sort of golden time for about 18 months. I don't have a daughter, but they do the same." So he's basically arguing that in this case where the TV presenter raped these young kids, the kids wanted it because they're going through this sexual revolution and they just can't help themselves. They're hanging out on set. So what's amazing to me is that he would even have the balls to say something this idiotic in public. And I mean, first question goes to Alona. I mean, what do you think? Yeah.
Make me take this one, huh?
Yeah, I know. It's a tough situation.
Well, and prior to that, he was on HuffPost Live, I think, talking to my colleague Josh Zepps, where he made this whole, gay marriage will lead to incest type of argument. So, I mean, if you agree to do an interview and, you're going to publicly air your thoughts, then, I don't, this is what he thinks, and so expect the blowback and people's responses to it. No one's saying that he isn't allowed to share his opinion, but I think it's a disgusting opinion. I mean, what are you even getting to when he was talking about, is he saying that it's worse to abuse young boys than it is to sexually abuse young women?
Can I defend him? In this case?
No, hold on. Before you get to that, I actually want to go to Sarah, because I'm curious what Sarah thinks about the fact that he's an actor. Like, do you think that he should get, some sort of a pass because he's an actor and not like a political pundit or something like that?
I think he should be ignored. I think that he's an idiot, as a lot of entertainers are. I am a comedian, and anything I say on this program shouldn't be taken seriously at all. It's like how Jon Stewart will try to dodge and hide behind that, like, I'm a comedian, not a journalist. I think that Jeremy Irons has responsibility for what he said. Does it affect us as a society? No. Should we really care too much about what he has to say? No. Why? Because he is dumb and he played Scar in The Lion King. And he is not that big of a problem. If I see him on the street, will I call him a D-bag? Possibly. But, his stupid opinions about things don't really affect my life. As long as he's not acting out on any of these ideas and actually harming anyone, that's fine.
But do you guys feel like his commentary, I guess, pushes like a rape culture? And I'm curious what you guys think about that, because if he's saying like, oh well, the victims in this case were asking for it, they were hanging out on set, which by the way he said during the interview. Don't you think that that's basically giving a pass for rapists?
Yeah, look, I think that he probably does, he believes in that sort of culture, or he thinks it's okay in the way that you're saying. But I think that we shouldn't worry about it contributing in a larger sense to it, because I don't think he has any influence on any culture, rape culture, popular culture, anything like that. But to go back to what I was going to say to you, I want to defend the one tweet. And now understand, I'm not defending everything he said. I think that he is wrong and he is incredibly backwards and everything. But when he was giving the example of the hand under the skirt on the thigh as opposed to buggering the 9-year-old, I don't think, and I think Jezebel got this wrong. I think it was Jezebel. It might have been Slate or Salon. I don't think he's saying it's better to abuse a female than a male. I think he's saying their sexual assault is a blanket term that encapsulates touching someone and anally raping someone. And I think that that's an argument that many times we've made on the Young Turks, that you can be put on the sexual offender registry list because you got drunk and went outside your house naked and someone saw you, or you raped someone.
Or you peed in public.
Exactly, and we put both those people on the same list. And so maybe that's not the point he's making, but that's the only good thing that can come up from
he found a better way to make that point, because that's very true, right? You flash someone once, and then now unfortunately you're considered a sexual predator for the rest of your life. But it's like putting your hand underneath a young girl's skirt when it's still not a good defense or not a good example.
Making excuses for it. Like, oh, it makes it seem like he doesn't think it's that big of a deal, when it is a big deal.
He
clearly doesn't think it's a big deal, and he's clearly a bad person. I have no problem saying that he sucks. But I do understand, like, the point, in a sense, that he was trying to make.
Well, if he was trying to make
I
that
think
point.
you're right, though, that hopefully Jeremy Irons just doesn't have any influence on any kind of culture, and we can just move on.
Move on.